Hey, what is going on, my fellow Sagittariuses? Butch Tarot here. I'm going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, rules can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Tarot of the Sacred Realm. There we go. It's a deck I've been actually looking forward to getting. I finally got it a few days ago. I'm always looking for new decks. I enjoy collecting them. A lot of times I'll get a new deck and I won't actually end up using it. Whether I just didn't like the feel of it, it doesn't connect with me, whatever. But I still save them. But this deck, I was pretty sure I was going to enjoy it, and I got it, and I really do. I bought a deck from this company before. I didn't really like it. It wasn't big. I mean, the deck was great. It's just the lettering and stuff was really hard to read. It was like on screen. I still enjoy it, just don't use it. But if you like tarot cards, you like collecting them, you like reading tarot, this is a great deck. It's very sturdy, very beautiful artwork. Highly recommend it. With all that being said, let's get it. First, what do we have for Sagittarius? What's going on for Sagittarius universe? Message do we have for Sagittarius? Also a big fan of red. And it's got that shiny red, and then a lot of it is, the deck is red, so I like red. It's one of my favorite colors. Anyway, I don't know why I said that. So the first thing I see, Sagittarius, is I feel like this energy coming towards you. I feel like it's someone that's familiar to you, but I feel like it is someone that went cold in the past. You know, I feel like someone that ghosted you. You know, we have the Six of Cups, which is that past energy. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, which is that hot and cold energy. Often, you know, when it speaks to me, it's telling me about someone that is either hot and cold or someone that has ghosted you in the past. Someone that just kind of went cold. You know, and I feel like with this person, the reason why we're picking their energy up again is I feel like this person's coming back into your life. You know, I feel like they're coming back with they want you back. I was trying to find a softer blow than that. This person wants you back. And I feel like they're going to do a lot to try to convince you of that. Try to convince you that they've changed. Try to convince you, you know, that they know what they want now and that they made a mistake and they want to make it right. Let's start off by just taking the bullshit right out of the equation here. I don't feel like this person's changed at all. I mean, the cards speak for themselves. We have the Death card in reverse. You know, there's no change. There's no transition with this person. And the Six of Swords in reverse as well. I mean, if any two cards could tell you this person's full of shit, there they are. You know, and I feel like this person's putting a lot of effort, and they are going to put a lot of effort into trying to come back, trying to convince you, trying to change your mind about who they are, what they did, But I mean, this person has a hidden agenda. With that Seven of Swords, what they say is not what they mean. I mean, I feel like this person's full of it. They're full of shit. The Queen of Swords in reverse. I mean, this person, we also have the King of Swords in reverse. I mean, this person's trying to outsmart you. They're trying to convince you of something that is pretty damn hard to convince you of. I mean, I feel like they're trying to outsmart you and they're trying to outwit you. Tall task for a Sagittarius. I mean, I'm a Sagittarius. I smell bullshit. The problem with this, though, is I feel like you did have feelings for this person. And I mean, I feel like sometimes that can shadow or that can not shadow. That can allow that person a little bit of extra leeway with us. We allow those type of people that we care about. Sometimes we want something from them. Like I said, I feel like you truly cared about this person. So I feel like you want to believe them. We give them a little bit more leeway. But I feel like no matter what this person says, I feel like you're always going to have that conflict. No matter how much they tell you and try to convince you, with the Eight of Wands, that communication, you're always going to struggle with it. There's always going to be a part of you that kind of sees through it. And it's going to be very important for you to trust that, because that's your intuition with the High Priest. Trust your intuition when it comes to this person. Like I said, when we have feelings for people, sometimes we let that cloud our judgment. That's what I meant to say before, not shadow, cloud. We let it cloud our judgment because we want to believe them. Someone that you can't believe and you don't care for, they're not going to bullshit you because you're all on the same page. It's when this complication comes in of actually having feelings for that person. Sometimes we got to disregard our feelings for that person and look at it from a distance. I mean, this person, I feel like they caused a lot of shit, with that Tower card. And I feel like there was somebody else. I feel like they chose someone else or they chose to chase someone else. I definitely feel like there's a third party energy here. And I feel like it didn't work out for them. So now they're trying to, come back into your life. But they're not giving anything to you. All they're doing is I feel like they're still playing the game. They're still playing this stupid game. You got the Knight of Wands in reverse, that player energy. And we have the Four of Swords, so I feel like this person is they're trying to, like I said, they're trying to outsmart you. They're trying to convince you that, they're trying to gaslight you. They're gonna try to convince you of everything under the sun that makes what they did justifiable. They're gonna try to change your judgment on them. They're gonna try to convince you that you were wrong about them, whatever they did. And that's the thing with manipulative people is they can't really acknowledge that they were wrong. They can't take the blame, because if they take the blame, then they have to be responsible, and they don't feel responsible. They're going to try to convince you that you made the wrong call. With that Judgment reverse, they're going to try to convince you everything they did wrong wasn't their fault. Even if I don't even feel like they're going to be honest about why they did what they did. You can't trust this person. And I don't think you're ever really going to truly be able to trust this person. And you're never going to find that happiness with this person because of the fact that you can't trust them. I mean, we have the nine of coin, the nine of cups in reverse. You know, and like, you're not gonna find true happiness with this person because you're never gonna be able to truly trust them. And as a Sagittarius, I know if I can't trust someone, that's kind of the end of it. If I can't trust you, I can't have you around. And I speak from the heart when I say this. It's as a Sagittarius, you try to be optimistic. And when you care about someone, you try to see the best side of them. And sometimes that gets us into trouble. Because sometimes there isn't a good side. Not for us anyway. I feel like this person left you for someone else or left you to pursue something else. It didn't work out for them, so they came back. I feel like this person doesn't deal with loneliness very well. And they're going to try to manipulate your feelings for them to get where they want to be. But I don't feel like this person's bringing anything to the table. I don't feel like they're actually showing up to put in the work. Because like I said, I feel like in the beginning they're going to put a lot of work in to try to get you back. You know, and as that fails, they're going to try to convince you that you did something wrong or that it wasn't their fault. And that just goes to show that they're not trying to make it right. You know, someone screws us over, and I'm not saying you should never give everybody a second chance. I'm never going to tell you that. What I'm saying is somebody screws you over, or somebody does you wrong, or someone, even if they don't screw you over, even if they just go cold on you, when they come back, if they're not making amends for that, if they're not trying to make it right, the first step is acknowledging what they did wrong. You know, it's not like they screw you over, disappear, come back and say, hey, listen, I want to try again. That's fine. But let's talk about what happened. You know, let's fill in the blanks here. And if they're not willing to do that, then they're really not sorry. You know, if they come to you heart and hand and say, listen, I screwed up, this is what happened, and they're completely honest and truthful and transparent, that's something that we can figure out. You know, but they got to reestablish that trust. And I feel like with this person, it's almost like they're going to try to get what they want. They're going to try really hard to get what they want. And when it doesn't happen, that's when they start trying to manipulate, trying to outsmart you, trying to make you think it's your fault, gaslighting you. Now with this person, we got a lot of air, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We have Scorpio. We have some Pisces. We have Capricorn and Virgo. We do have some fire as well. I mean, we have some Aries and Sagittarius. That's what I try to tell like anybody that ever talks to me, like my friends and stuff. And, you know, it's one thing I've always been really good at is I'm easy to talk to. And a lot of my friends, they feel free to talk to me. I'm just one of those people. I don't judge. I really don't. I know everybody's circumstances are different. I know my life isn't completely in check, so I have no place to judge. So I give off the energy that I'm really easy to talk to. So my friends talk to me. And I've had, this is where I get all this experience when I talk about relationships, when I talk about things. It's not just based on relationships I've had, it's based on relationships that I hear about and I talk to my friends about. You know, and it's, you know, I feel like you can't really know anything by just your own experience if you have to open yourself up to other people's experiences. But with all that being said, there is a point. Sometimes people will come to me and they'll say, listen, this person, maybe they cheated on the, whoever's talking, they cheated on me. Now they want me back. They want to start over. And I always say the same thing. Whether they cheated on you, whether they just been cold on you, whether they manipulated you, abused you, whatever the scenario is. Maybe they just broke up with you for no reason. Whatever the scenario is, when they come back into your life, if they want you back and they're authentic about it, you'll be able to feel that. Not only through their energy alone, but just their actions. Like if they're coming back and they're remorseful and they want to make it right, it's just like anybody that's done you wrong in any facet of life, whether it's romantic or just your life. If they really want to be in your life and they really want a second chance, we got to get through what happened first. We can't just be like, okay, you know what? We're going to forget everything that happened and we'll start off fresh. It's never going to work that way. Maybe right now it will, but later down the road, you're going to start, when the freshness of it all fades away, we're going to think back to like, okay, I remember that time they screwed me over and I never really got any answers. So it's best to get it out of the way in the beginning. If you want a clean slate, we gotta clean off the old plate, wash it. It's very simplistic. It's like if you have a plate of food and somebody says, hey, we want a clean slate. We want to, start fresh. You're not just going to flick the food off and then put the plate back down and expect that to be, that's not a clean plate anymore. Whether there's a little bit of drizzle or whatever from the other food. I mean, no matter what, it's not clean. In order to, we just got to get rid of that. We got to start fresh. If you want to start fresh, we got to figure out where we went wrong. I don't like one of the stories from one of my friends. I started to tell, my friend, his girlfriend had cheated on him. And they broke up, and, it was 5 or 6 months later, she came back and she wanted to get back together. And he was telling me about it. And now when somebody asks my advice, I ask them to be very truthful. Like, I don't want you to put the spin on it that you were always in the wrong. And I said, well, what happened before she cheated on you? And I'll never blame cheating on the partner, but I feel like the details are important. And he was telling me how, she wanted more of his time. He was he was always out with his buddies, always doing stuff, and he said in the beginning we were always together, and then all of a sudden we moved in together and just, I get a little distant. He said, I admit that. I wasn't giving her as much attention and wasn't spending as much time with her. Now, that doesn't condone cheating. I want to make that very clear. But it makes what she did not as callous, if that makes sense. Some people have a great relationship and they cheat anyway. Some people, and it was a one-time thing. He told me it was a one-time thing. And she came to him and told him right away. She said, I messed up. They broke up. But she was honest about it. Now, all those things are important. Doesn't mean you should forgive them. I'm not saying that. I want to be very clear on that. But, it makes a difference. And kind of the best way I can kind of this is going to go way off the wall. I hope my Sagittarius understand how I'm kind of off the wall. It's like when you talk about way off the wall. Remember, I've warned you, this is way off the wall. It's like when you look into, I watch a lot of true crime movies. You look at murder, for example. Murder's never right. But there is scenarios where it's not as wrong, if you understand what I'm saying. Does that make sense? You can't answer me. But what I'm saying to you, it's same as anything else we do wrong in life. There's degrees, and there's certain scenarios where we can be forgiven for things that we've done. There's sometimes it's so bad that you can't be forgiven. There's no forgiving it. Like, for example, you're in a fight with someone and they slip and fall and hit their head and they pass away. That's one scenario. You're a serial killer and you kill lots of people, and they're not the same. They can't be the same. They can't. A hunting accident. You killed somebody, but it's not the same, So it's the same as cheating, abuse. No, that's never okay. And I don't really think there's a whole lot you can come back from that. I mean, I don't know. There's some things I just have, no real tolerance for. I feel like cheating is kind of a really gray area. It depends on all the factors. But the point of this whole long-ass, drawn-out story is, if someone wants to make things right with you, they got to be willing to make it right. They can't just be expecting you to forgive them. And I don't know why I got on the whole spiel. My mind is all over the place sometimes. I don't know why I brought up murder at all. I feel like that's like the farthest. I mean, it's an analogy. It's not really comparable, but I think I hope you see what I mean. And I'm gonna get out of here because I feel like I'm just going down this rabbit hole, and I'm just digging a deeper hole. So anyway, like I said, someone wants to be forgiven. They gotta do what has to be done to be forgiven. They gotta make things right. And if there's no way to make it right, there's no way to make it right. But if they're being authentic and they're, and you believe that they're being authentic, and you get to a point where you feel like you can forgive them, then that's up to you. You're the only person that can forgive someone. And I've heard of plenty of times, like, trust me, you wouldn't believe how many times I heard of situations like that someone, they forgave the person and it worked out. It really did. There's times when they forgive the person and it didn't work out. It's not all black and white. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.